Hey, and welcome to NSX Rack Repair. How do you know if your NSX manual steering rack needs to be repaired? I'll give you one way to check. Start by removing your front passenger side wheel and go ahead and turn the wheel the other direction. So if you have a left-hand drive car, turn the wheels to the left. If you have a right-hand drive car, turn your wheels to the right. And then grab the inner and outer tie rod in right here, and you can actually pull on it. Now with the car up in the air, you've got nothing on the suspension, so you can listen. So there's no play in the outer ball of the tie rod ends, and the inner tie rod end we can check as soon as we pull that boot down, but that is the symptom of the manual steering rack needed to be rebuilt. So today I'm going to show you what's involved in the removal and reinstallation of the manual steering rack. We're going to start under the hood. First, remove the spare tire and the bracket. This particular car does not have the spare tire or bracket installed. There's one bolt up here, and then on the early generations there are 4 bolts in the bottom that hold the bracket in place. Remove those, and then remove the battery. Next, move inside the car and remove the steering column cover behind the pedals. Next, turn the key to the on position so you can turn the steering wheel to remove the 2 10mm bolts holding the universal joint in. So it's very important before removing the universal joint at the bottom of the steering column to make sure to go ahead and straighten the wheel, point them in the right direction. Now you can remove the key and make sure the steering wheel doesn't move from here on out. There you go. That'll hold the steering wheel straight and prevent damage to the clock spring. Now that you have the battery tray out of the way, you can have access to the rack now. You do have a couple of different options. If you do want to go ahead and remove the outer tie rod ends, you can use this. This is a OEM brand 27308. This is a ball joint separator. Available at most parts stores. They work pretty well. If you can't remove the outer tie rods here, because they do get stuck occasionally, then you can also remove this lock nut here for where the inner tie rod goes to the outer tie rod, and then just twist the inner tie rod off of the outer tie rod and leave it connected to the hub.
The whole stud's spinning. We're gonna grab the socket, hold it with our rag, push it back, falls right off. Yep.
Tap it with a hammer?
Yeah, probably. These hands.
Using a chisel and hammer, bend the locks from the flat portions of the inner tie rods on both sides, and then use a 17mm wrench to remove the inner tie rod. To replace these mounting bushings, the easiest way I've found is to use channel locks or Knipex type pliers. At this point, it may help to spray some type of lubricant inside of the rubber bushings. This will help removal process. When reinstalling the outer tie rods, make sure you get the left on the left side and the right on the right side. They are marked. And with the rack on the workbench, the steering shaft, the pinion shaft is on the left on this left-hand drive unit. First, install the lock washer, followed by the stop washer. Ensure the two grooves fit into the steering shaft. Torque to 40 foot-pounds. Use a chisel and a flat punch to lock the tie rods in place. Before installing the rack, make sure you have proper spacing between the inner and outer tie rods. Per the manual, there should be 11 millimeters between the shoulder of the threads and the lock nut. Now with the wheels pointing straight, go ahead and reconnect the steering column to the rack beneath the pedals. Now that the rebuilt rack is installed, let's do the same test we did in the beginning. For more information on having your steering rack repaired, visit us at nsxrackrepair.com and like and subscribe, comment, and come back for more. Thanks for watching.